everyone, and welcome back to our last part of our Christmas story today. It's Christmas Eve! One more sleep until Christmas. I'm so excited. As I've said previously, this is my son's very first Christmas, and me and my husband Tom, we cannot wait to make new traditions for him. Do you have any traditions at Christmas Eve? Do you like to wear matching pyjamas with your family? Do you like to snuggle up with a blanket, watch films and have hot chocolate? Do you like to walk around your streets and have a look at your Christmas lights? That's what we're going to do this year. We're going to look around and find all the Christmas lights around in our neighbourhoods. But right now we're going to put all tradition aside and we're going to be remembering what the real reason of Christmas is about, which is God coming down to earth as a baby, which is what we've been looking at since the end of November, and I really hope you've enjoyed yourself. And today is a recap session, so we're going to put all stories that we've had and put them together to make one short story. Today I'm going to need your help, so I need you to get up on your feet and we're going to do some small little stretches because I have some actions for you. Okay, we're going to put your arms out, going to wiggle your fingers, you should know the drill by now. You're going to do your hands, you're going to do your arms, you're going to give them a wiggle, 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 like that. Well done. So we need to wake our bodies up. We can't do actions if our body's asleep, can we? When you hear me say star, I want you to twinkle your fingers like the stars in the night sky. When I say angels, I want you to raise your hands and say hallelujah. And then when I say sheep, I want you to go bat, bat. You can even act like a sheep if you want to go bat, 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 bat. Like that, if you want. Let's go through them again. So if I say star, you twinkle your arms, twinkle your little fingers like this. When I say angels, you say hallelujah. And when I say sheep, you go but, but. Okay, act like a sheep. Are we ready? On to our story. The emperor's soldiers had told everyone to go to be counted in the place where they had been born. Joseph had to take Mary to Bethlehem. Tiny stars were twinkling in the night sky when at last the lights of Bethlehem appeared in the distance. Nearly there, said Joseph. Mary was tired. It would not be long before her baby was born, but in Bethlehem the only place they could find to stay was a place where sheep and other animals were sometimes kept. That is where Mary's baby boy was born. She wrapped him snugly in pieces of cloth and put him in with the animals' wooden feeding trough. She called him Jesus. Outside the stable, the stars shone brightly. Not far away, some shepherds on a hillside were looking after their sheep. Suddenly, a dazzling light appeared and they saw an angel. Hallelujah! The shepherds were frightened. They had never seen an angel before. All they saw was sheep. Don't be afraid, the angel told them. I have some wonderful news. Tonight God's son had been born in Bethlehem. You will find him laying in a bed of hay. Then lots of other angels appeared singing praise to God in heaven. The shepherds could not believe that this was happening to him. We must go to Bethlehem and see this baby, they said. So they left their sheep and ran down the hillside into town. Soon they found the stable where the baby was. They were so happy that they sang and talked all the way home. God's son has been born tonight, they said. It happened just as the angels said. A long way from Bethlehem, some men stood looking at us at the sky. They had noticed a new star. It means a new king had been born, they said. We must go and look for him. So they chose special presents, climbed on their camels and set off across the desert to find the baby king. These wise men thought kings always lived in palaces, but he wasn't in a palace in Jerusalem, so they kept following the bright star as it moved across the sky until at last it stopped above the house where Mary, Joseph and Jesus were. They knew that the child they were looking for was very special. This child was God's son. They kneeled down and gave him special presents that they had bought: gold, frankincense and myrrh. When the wise men had left, Mary cuddled Jesus in her arms and smiled. She remembered what the angel had told her, that she was going to have a baby who would be God's son. She thought about the shepherds and the message the angels had told them as they looked after the sheep. But she thought about the wise men and the bright star that had seen. Now Jesus is here, she said to herself, and this is how it happened. And that, my friends, is the end of our story. That's all 4 parts that we've been looking at, put into one to make one nice Christmas story. I have really enjoyed looking at the Christmas story with you guys, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. Now I want you to think, if you were part of this story, who would you want to be? Would you want to be the shepherds and looking after your sheep when the angels came? Would you want to be Mary, who was chosen to give birth to the Son of God? Would you want to be the angels who gave everyone the good news? Or would you want to be a king who wore obviously very nice crowns, had very nice clothing, and they brought gifts to the baby Jesus? Who would you want to be? I think I might want to be an angel. I quite like the idea of looking like glowing and having wings and spreading good news. I think that's who I would want to be. In fact, that is someone I actually was when I used to do nativity things in my school. Always an angel. If I can find a photo, I'll put it here. I really hope you've enjoyed watching all these videos and that you have learnt something the past few weeks. I cannot wait to see you all again. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless. Have a good Christmas.